We'll take the flip, the kick, the headbutt, and the taunt. Brr, throw in that and that. Looks good. Give me the field, too. Grab the stadiums, grab that, grab that. Do you have anything in a clothesline tackle? Good. Give me that. Give me the wave. No. Yes, we'll take that. The dive. Party time. Let's do that and that. Not that, and that. Give me that again. Timeout. If it's in the game, it's in the game. John Madden Football 93 for Super NES and Sega Genesis.
Where'd that truck come from?
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Oh, Lee.
Football.
Can't escape this bullshit.
ESPN, the global leader in sports.
Welcome to the PoP Fantasy Football 2021 Week 16 recap brought to you by PanelsOnPages.com. I'm Jason Nyes representing the Gotham Rogues, and joining me this week representing the Brooklyn Dark Knights, PoP Fantasy Football Commissioner Tito Cruz.
R.I.P. John Madden.
Representing Tell 'em Kelly Eats Band-Aids, PoP Fantasy Football The Juan Commissioner Dan Mahoney.
All I wanted to do was lose out. That's all I wanted.
And finally, representing DK Metcast Winstonia, still hasn't changed that team name, Jose Guzman.
I feel your pain, everyone who gets hurt in the NFL. I had to put a knee brace on to sit down.
Oh my goodness. Too old to go in cold.
Yeah, no shit. Too old to sit down for a while all day, too. Ain't that a bitch? Hurt my knee sitting down.
Yeah,
Who the fuck hurts themselves sitting?
Yeah, I slept weirdly the day before Christmas, and I've been in pain ever since. I feel you.
The Christmas miracle.
So last we left you, we were headed into the final game of the regular season, and since then, we've completed the first round of the PoP Fantasy Football playoffs. So we're about to start the new year with a two-time champion and a brand new Juan. So let's send it over to Mahoney with our Week 16 scoreboard. Ah, come on. It's just locked up.
Week 16 was absolutely just all over the place. Week 16 makes no sense.
Nope.
There's nothing about Week 16 that you can look at and be like, oh, there it is. Perfect. How timely. There's just nothing about this week that makes any sense at all. So some of these games don't matter at all. Like me and Nyes, where I was projected to lose. I was actively attempting to lose and beat Nyes 124-95.
Yeah, I was projected at 105. You were projected at 98. You beat me by 30.
Yeah, like
with your flex player scoring 0 and your one of your running back scoring 1 point.
1 point out of one of my star running back for the whole season gets me 1 point. I get 25 points out of the Miami defense, 29 points out of the backup running back from San Diego or LA now, I guess. But it's just like, come on. Like, all I wanted to do was lose out. And now I got to face Juan. And I'm not losing to Juan, that's for sure. So I'm going to have to win all these games.
Talk about wins of fate, huh?
Yeah. Ridiculous. And then Jose, you and Juan over there in the other game in the consolation ladder, 72-70. Like, what did you both start 4 players?
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
And because I didn't change my name, I figured, you know what? I'm going to ride this last game out with Cam Newton. Sat Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, well, no, hold on. But Cam Newton's not even in your team name anymore.
Yeah, he's in the logo.
Okay, the logo. Gotcha.
Still part of the team because I changed the team name but never changed the logo, and I think that's what that's the juju that sunk my team. Because dude, I lost like 7 games straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Well, there was that one tie, so 6 out of 7 games I lost with a tie.
You were winless for 7 games. How's that?
So sat Matthew Stafford, which good thing he didn't explode. He scored 7 points. Cam got me 4.
That 7 points would have won this for you.
Yeah, and then it turns out lose by 2. Cam underscored by 3 to Stafford.
Absolutely ridiculous. Could have been you and I.
The
but
fuck?
Cam Newton got in the way.
Having the Fate Bowl.
Yeah,
or
could have
did
been
Cam
us, but
Newton
Cam
make
Newton
sure this year's fate happened the way it should have been?
I guess. It's all right. I'll beat up on Juan one more time.
Oh,
All right.
does he?
So I find the winners bracket the least interesting.
So
So
we'll
let's go
skip
there
that,
next.
and let's talk about next year's draft.
Let's talk about the winners bracket. Where talk about games that don't make any sense. Tad 11-4 Tad
Oof.
up against 7-8 Tito. Tito outscores him 146-67. Like,
Jesus.
what are you doing in the playoffs with 67 points, Tad? How'd you get there?
By the way, with -5 from my defense.
Yeah, you should have had 151 at least. Like,
I mean,
unreal.
Tad did leave some points on his bench, but not a whole fucking lot.
Yeah, 67 is. The
Oh,
worst
you
of
know what
the
killed
week.
him? Fournette.
He had all
Oh
those
yeah,
hurt
because he
guys,
lost Fournette.
Yeah.
He made, I would imagine, no waiver moves because he almost never does. So yeah. Oh yeah, he
Fournette,
went back to Barkley because
Barkley
you know,
did squat.
he's a
Herbert
Giants fan.
Herbert
Oh my
had a
God.
bad game.
Fucking Herbert. How
Edwards-
does San Diego go in there and just get
Los Angeles.
demolished by Houston?
He'll always be San Diego.
And then Edwards-Helaire got hurt. Cup, believe it or not, 15 points is underperforming for him this season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, he was projected for 20. He got 15. It might have counted as a bust.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp single-handedly ended my season.
Yeah.
But look at Tito. 28 from Patrick Mahomes, 28 from Damian Harris, 28 from Devontae Adams.
Hey, Mahoney, I picked the right New England running back this time.
Who
Yeah,
the fuck
there you
is
go.
Amon-Ra St. Brown?
20
Yeah, he
and a half
can't-
points.
He came straight from Night at the Museum to suit up for the for the Lions.
Oh my god.
Amon
17
Ra.
and a half from Amari Cooper. You got 9 points out of your kicker, and it looks like he underperformed.
Look at Russell Wilson on your bench making 20 points. Holy
Remember when
shit.
Juan dropped
Oh,
Russell
man.
Wilson?
Could have used them 20 points, huh?
Yeah.
But what did his quarterback get? I mean, was it that bad? Did it really matter?
No.
I mean, Tito could have started Russell Wilson and still beat Tad by 60 plus
Tito
points.
could have started no quarterback
Yeah.
and still beat Ted.
Tad was
embarrassing
scary,
loss.
man. Like, I thought Tad might
Yeah.
take it all the way.
Yeah. But nope, now it's 67 points.
Mm-mm.
I was kinda
Now-
rooting.
The other game, again, things that don't make any sense. Vetter and Matt down to 1 point. And
Matt
that one
murdering
point-
everybody all season.
Yep. Matt was 13-2. He had 2 losses. First week to me, the last week to me. And he won every other game. Like, unreal. And then he
And that
gets in
ga-
here
that
against
game-
Vetter.
That game came down to the Monday Nighter, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
With the
Because-
Saints against Miami.
Yeah, it was the Saints' defense that
Saints defense.
Vetter had.
So-
He was up a couple points by Shark, and it was just watching to see what that Saints defense did.
Yep. It literally ticked down like to the final minute of that game because they were separated by a point, and it was all what that Saint defense was going to do. And Vetter comes out on top 117.5 to 116.5.
With 0 points from Mahoney's favorite player, Mike Williams.
I never heard of that guy before. Is he any good?
Yeah, Vetter got hurt too with Robinson going down with the ACL and the
Yeah.
Achilles injury.
He's all done.
Mhm.
He's all done. And who knows who's going to be on the COVID list this week. See, that's what was going on for this week before, is there was so many injuries, so many players out. It was really like, show me how well you can work the waiver wire. Because the projections were just nothing. Like, they didn't make any sense. Nobody knew what was going to happen.
Mm-mm.
But yeah. Sucks to be Matt. He had the lead.
Yeah.
You know, the Saints defense gets that
Okay.
automatic 10 points, but you're
No,
like,
no.
yeah, that's fine. That's going to tick down. But nope.
Here's why it sucks to be Matt. Mr. Cincinnati Bengals fan did not start Joe Burrow,
Yeah, no
who
shit.
scored
Joe
40 fucking
B.
6 points.
Fucking that's the problem. You didn't stick with what got you to the ball.
Exactly. Jose made the point I was gonna make. You stick with what got you there. Because every time you try to be cute, especially in the playoffs, it will bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
46 points out of Joe Burrow.
Definitely my lesson this year. Don't get cute.
1.4 points separated Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow in projections. So that's what did him in. That 1.4 points. You see 19.7 compared to 18.3, and you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll start Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, but if you've had... It's your hometown guys. Like you got them for a reason.
Yeah, but I think
Shark
has definitely subbed them in and out throughout the season. He hasn't stuck.
He has. He has done that.
It's the week. The projections were all over the place. None of them make any sense.
But then had he committed to his hometown quarterback and lost, it would look even worse.
True,
No, but you ride with the horse that got you there. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
then at least you know, fuck it. Like I drafted or I got him. Let's do this thing.
And he started 2 other Bengals. That's the only one he didn't start.
Mm-hmm.
See, Vetter went Bengals heavy because he went with Joe Mixon at 28 out of him, and then 37 points out of T. Higgins.
You know why? Who was throwing to him?
Right.
Dude on the bench.
Right. Oh,
But that's another reason why you kind of he was playing Higgins.
Right.
Go for that. If you think Higgins is going to do well, it's because your quarterback's throwing it to him.
Right.
And
So next week, Vetter and Tito. Tito at 7-8 going into the championship game.
Yeah, but that's not new. I mean, we went over the records a couple weeks ago. Like they've all been shit. All the winners have had shit records.
Jose's made the point, and he's right. The person with the best record going into the playoff, I think, has only won once or twice.
Yeah.
Real.
In the 10-year history
They don't.
of our league.
They don't win in our league.
Yeah.
McCaffrey went 5th. Our league has no rules.
No, doesn't make any sense.
How'd that work out for you, Mahoney?
It did not work out very well. McCaffrey I could have dealt with, but McCaffrey, fucking my quarterback, Waller, who else? Like I lost like
I think Waller
everyone.
was probably the biggest.
Wait,
yeah.
you found out McCaffrey was fucking your quarterback?
I wish. Maybe if they were fucking each other, they would have stayed on the field.
Just spitting in each other's
Tito,
mouths.
Tito is 7-8 and going into the championship game. Mel is 6-9 and he's going into the Juan. So go figure. Like 1 game difference between the two of them. One's in the championship, one's in the Juan. Because Goat comes out on top over Mel, 113.5 to 111.
It goes again. It's a old Jose saying. He said it on the show before. Just get in the tournament and everybody's 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. All you gotta do is get in. You're saying there's a chance.
Was coming into that game, and Goat had a strong lead, and he was like, I'm a little concerned about this because the last time Dallas faced the Washington racial slurs. Their defense scored 20-something points. And the Dallas defense scored 26 points for Mel, and he made it so much closer than it needed to be, and Goat must have been sweating.
With an interception for a touchdown, they were just rocking them.
Yep. Goat benefiting from my dude getting hurt.
Something happened
over there.
to Mel's kicker because he scored 0 points. And they put up 36.
Yeah, somebody kidnapped his kid.
Give me back my son.
I said, you fucking make any of them field goals.
Did I get 0? Yeah, I got 0 points out of my flex guy, and I was like, why? Like, what happened? And I still don't know. Like, what happened to Devontae Parker? Did he not play? I have no idea. So I didn't care enough to put any research in.
Did Mel?
No, he was in the game.
Yeah, he didn't get a single catch.
He just didn't get a single catch.
Oh, Butker was out. He was on the COVID list.
Yeah,
so
that's
Mel
what I was saying.
That. Yeah.
Mel just must have missed that. Or it was too late.
I mean, I don't think it was too late. He probably just missed it, but that's a real shame because he might get a season punishment out of not picking up that Harrison Butker wasn't going to play. You gotta figure you start any other kicker,
So
you could probably come up with a couple points.
it was last Tuesday that Butker, the news came out that he wasn't going to be activated from the reserve COVID-19 list. So
Yeah, so that's nice and early.
Ouch.
And Mel fell for Van Jefferson. When I was like, I'm gonna purge my whole bench, and everyone was like, that's crazy. And I was like, no, it's not. Van Jefferson over there with 0.5 points. Like, bye. See ya. And he did the same thing. He had the hometown beer goggles. Started Kittle over Kyle Pitts. Kittle got him 3.
Well-
Kyle Pitts got 13.
Yeah, but you see Kittle's run the past 3 games. You start Kittle.
You do that. I don't.
Like that wasn't a
blame you for
bad move. If anything, he may, depending on the team, try to flex where you put Pitts and Kittle in the same lineup.
Sure.
But playing Kittle was not a bad move, because like the week before he had like fucking 75 points.
Exactly,
Well,
75.
Didn't work out, so.
No, not that. But again,
Oh, well.
that was last
The
week.
week before he had, I guess he had 34.5, 27.5, 12, and then dropped down to 3. So
Yeah.
he took it personal. Mel must have said something about him one time on like San Francisco radio. And Kittle was like, fuck that guy. He and the Juan.
San
I'm gonna throw this.
Francisco radio.
All right, so then we had Kelly and Mary. And we, for 2 years in a row now, we've been carefully monitoring. Poor little boy Kelly does not wind up in the losers match. The former Kerouac, the now Juan. But Mary did not give a shit about that at all. Mary did not care. Mary outscored him 131.5 to 83. Mary was like, bye, Kelly. Enjoy the Juan. 39 points out of Dak Prescott. 19.5 out of Montgomery and Chicago. Like, Mary needed some of those scores every other week, and everything
Right.
would have been much better for her.
I made a comment to her at some point during week 16 because she was super into it. And I was like, this is the most like I've seen you like into your team and your score of all the weeks. And like you're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And she's like, I just want to fucking win. Okay. Can I win one? I've been losing so much. I'm like, all right.
Well, she did it. She did it.
Kelly's like, I'll be your Huckleberry.
Kelly didn't have a bad team, really. Like, he got 13.5 out of Madison. He got 19 out of Rashad Penny. He got 11.5 out of Hunter Renfro.
Could you imagine the week that he definitely wasn't playing? He put Dalvin Cook in.
Wouldn't
He
have
left
surprised
22.
me.
He left 22 points on the bench for Chase
He
Edmonds.
did leave
but
22 on the points on the bench with Chase Edmonds. And like, bold move to start Rashad Penny over Chase Edmonds, but that's fine. I think
And Jack
Edmonds was a
Doyle.
late reactivation, so he maybe just didn't know. And yeah, I don't know why anybody would ever start Jack Doyle. Like,
You mean Jack motherfucking Doyle?
Jack motherfucking Doyle is still in this league, and he wouldn't know it from his fantasy scores.
Maybe
averaging
he left
4.1
6.5
points a
on-
game.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to
6.5
switch
points
positions.
for Higbee, which is who he should have started. And sweet Kelly carrying Dalvin Cook in his injured reserve spot like he's ever coming back.
ever.
Ever. He's all done. But you know what? At least Kelly can take solace in the fact that it didn't matter. I don't think he had enough points in his entire lineup to catch Mary, so.
That's always good though. Like, no matter
Yeah.
what you did, mathematically you couldn't have won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel a little better. Like,
Because he had 83 in his
Mhm.
lineup and 45 on his bench,
Yep.
and Mary outscored him by 60. So
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
no combination was
If you count his entire bench, Kelly would have scored 128.5 points.
And
Just-
still lost.
3 points
Yeah.
lower than Mary.
Yeah, so if Mary had just let him play his whole lineup, it wouldn't have mattered.
How fucking wild is that?
She
Play your whole lineup.
was bloodthirsty. She had her eyes on the prize. So yeah, our Juan is either gonna be Mel or Kelly.
Well, good thing we got 3 more weeks to figure this out.
Oh my god. Can't
All
take
right.
3 more weeks.
All right, let's go to Tito with the updated standings following week 16. I mean, I guess we don't really have to do this since
Yeah, there's no real standings. We could just break down.
we just show the playoff bracket, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll start with the one. Like Mahoney just referenced, it's going to be Kelly against Mel. And that poses an interesting matchup because Mel on paper has a stacked lineup.
All year. His team was good. Just bad timing, bad numbers, bad matchups.
So I love you, Kelly, but I don't like your chances.
I've been trying to warn Kelly about this for weeks. Been like, Kelly, you need to not get in the one because you're looking at the other teams and all of them are consistently outscoring Kelly's team, and it's like you need to keep yourself out of there or you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, and Kelly
And
hasn't
he
really
didn't
had many of those like fluke huge win weeks.
Nope.
All right, so they're saying that Dalvin Cook might be back for this game, so he has him in the lineup.
I do like the idea of I love Mel. Mel's a great dude, but I do love the idea of him going from first to last.
I know. There's
Plus-
something to be said about that.
Plus, because he's already offered a gift card of the Champion's Choice to whomever wins. So when he ships the belt, he's going to ship a gift card with it. Just like doing that as last place. That'll sting. So
Nice, like, yes, take that. But also, I love you.
yes, your misery.
One thing for Kelly to watch is that Lamar Jackson didn't practice today.
Nope. I don't like the chances of him doing anything. Plus, from what I don't pay enough attention, but I'm hearing that the Ravens have like 3 solid quarterbacks. So like, it doesn't feel like they're gonna have any real reason to rush him in there. You know?
I feel like any fantasy advice week to week that we have for Kelly, we might as well write it out on a slip of paper, put it in a bottle, and chuck it into the fucking ocean because that's the likelihood that he's going to read it or hear it.
Yeah.
Or listen to it.
He did pick up Baker Mayfield as his backup quarterback in case he needs him. So that's
Matt
that's
Ryan,
the
baby,
plan.
go out on top.
I know. He carried Matt Ryan all fucking season. And now he's like, maybe Baker Mayfield. It's like, okay.
All right, Tito, you're the commissioner. Let me run this by you. See if you can make this happen. Just for this week, looking towards Kelly, maybe we can let him have Kurt Warner as his quarterback, but not like real Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner as played by Chuck.
That seems fair.
Does he come with the CTE?
Kurt
Next
Warner's got
season.
CTE?
They all have
Dude's been-
CTE.
they'll have some level of
Yeah.
CTE.
Oh, their brains are bleeding.
They all got it in like 6th grade. Like they all have CTE.
What if it comes out that COVID has an effect on CTE?
Reverses it.
Just mixing up COVID and CTE to create some sort of awful new disease.
Cole Beasley can read now. Like he couldn't with the CTE, but now with the COVID and the CTE, he's like, oh, I can read the menu at this restaurant. Like, I will not have the chicken fingers. I will have this. Like,
He starts spouting off about isosceles triangles like the Scarecrow.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
On paper, we don't like Kelly's chances, but the projected score has him close, has him within a point.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
but who gives
since
a
we're
shit
talking about
Kelly's
it,
projected score?
let's go to it. Let's go to the Week 17 preview.
No.
So here's the problem with Kelly's projected score. Kelly's projected score has always been so wrong. Like, that's what's happened to him. Is his projected score is like, oh, Mel's projected at 104 and you're projected at 103, and Kelly's like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. And then Kelly's like, I scored 73 points. I don't understand.
Let's look at Kelly's schedule from this year and see how do I go to that? How do I do that?
See where this thing went wrong.
Let's see his record. Let's see if he's ever broken 100 points. Okay. Week 1, he lost, but he had 103 points. Oh, he was actually putting up over 115 week 2. But then
I don't think scoring over 100 was the problem. He
62,
just
79,
was not scoring where his team
94.
should have.
He has not scored over 100 since week 13, and it was 100 on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Mel is
when he beat me 100 to 57.
Oof. Some real high scoring games this year and some real like fucking team duds.
Yeah.
When we're like almost to Monday night and me and Juan scores 50 to 55, I'm like, what the fuck are we even doing?
Fucking embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Just call it.
You both need to fire your nephew.
Drop players like during the like there's times where I want to be like, no, I don't even care. Just let me drop them and you could take away the points. Like I don't care. Like I don't want this guy on my team anymore. Like I'm losing by that much. I just want him gone immediately. I don't want to wait for Tuesday.
Any of these other matches we want to talk about?
Well, we gotta talk about Mahoney's matchup.
I got Juan. I'm projected to lose to Juan, but
Wow.
we'll see. I like I said, the projections right now are completely useless. Nobody has any idea. You got to look at trends. You got to basically do your own projections. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. Forget anything that they're telling you for projections. None of it makes sense right now. Figure it out yourself. That's all I can give you for advice.
Flip a coin.
And I am absolutely. I was all done. I just wanted to lose out, but now I'm in the final game of the season against Juan, and I certainly don't want to throw a game against Juan. So I gotta put in effort. Ridiculous. And then we, of course, have Veteran Tito, who Vetter's got his whole lineup in there, I guess, but he's only projected at 94. Tito projected at 110.
But Hurst is going against Washington. I think Hurst is going to be a wild card here. Because he runs a lot and stuff like that, so it's gonna come down to what Hurts does.
Oh, so it all comes down to Mahoney, Mr. Dropped Hurts, huh?
I didn't drop Hurts. Did I have Hurts?
Yeah.
No, Vetter drafted him.
I think Vetter drafted him.
Yeah. I didn't drop Hurts.
Well, worst case scenario.
Why was Jose? Like I would have two quarterbacks in my lineup.
Zach Ertz isn't a quarterback.
No, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Not Zach Ertz.
I thought you said Ertz.
I did drop Ertz.
Yeah, I was about
I didn't need him. I didn't need him because I had Darren Waller, and I was rolling big in my tight end spot. And then Darren Waller was like, FYI, I retired. I just didn't tell anybody. Like, thanks. Ridiculous. So, yeah, it's going to be a wild championship. It's going to be an even wilder one. I mean, I know we're not doing picks on the show this year, but I think Mel's going to be just fine, and I'm already thinking of how I'm going to punish Kelly.
Well, Kelly has said that if he comes in last place, he's done.
He's not allowed to. He's not allowed to. Veto.
No, because one thing on my list of potential punishments for Kelly is an exile.
1 year banishment.
Yeah, like a George Steinbrenner-esque banishment from the game.
All right, Lee, start paying attention because you're going to be coming off the bench.
All right. Well, that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
All right. Final thoughts from Commissioner Tito going into the final week of 2021 Pop Fantasy Football.
So I mentioned it earlier. I'll reiterate it. You stick with what got you there. If you won or somebody's been consistent for you, Stick with what got you there. A lot of times you get cute. You try to this is the perfect time to second guess yourself, and you're gonna overthink something. And just go with your first instinct is usually the right instinct.
Good call.
Yep.
All right, Mahoney, what do you got?
My thing is also, as I just mentioned, the environment right now is not built for a computer projection. Okay? The computer is not trained to take into account that 400 players have COVID positive tests.
They haven't fed COVID information into IBM Watson?
I doubt it. Even if
I
they
tell
had,
you.
like, you got to look around at your own lineup and look at who they're playing and what the situation. Like, you can't trust these projections. You cannot.
I tell you who could handle all of this COVID information. FantasyBot 9000, RIP.
That's right. Can't believe about 9,000 died.
And final thoughts from Jose. What do you got?
It's a fucking wild year, man. Double check your lineups before each game. Because again, somebody who was supposed to be in might not be in. And somebody who was supposed to be out might not be so out. It's last week of the game, or last week for a lot of people's seasons. And fucking trust nobody. And we all know nothing.
I just picked up Darren Waller, and then I get noticed that he's on the COVID list. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I thought he retired.
He's all done. I know when I dropped him that you all side-eyed me, but I'm telling you, he's not playing again.
He was set to come back this week, and
Yeah,
then the
sure.
fucker went
He
and
was
licked
set
like
to
5
come
doorknobs.
back. He was set to come back the past 6 weeks in a row, and he never came back. Like, this is what he does. You get all excited, and then come Friday, Saturday, it's like, oh, yeah, no, Waller's not going to play. And you're like, God damn it. You got to figure something out. So I fell for that for half a season. You got it for 1 week. You're welcome.
Really something.
No.
Yep.
All right, so be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Panels on Pages on YouTube at youtube.com/panelsonpages. We got Pop Fantasy Football live mostly every week, kind of. Chat with us in
It was a
real
wild
time,
year.
like absolutely zero people did this week.
Yeah, hey, sometimes the show is like the COVID list. We were scheduled to play and then got pulled at last minute.
Yep.
And also, don't forget, we got the Panels on Pages podcast live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, except for this week. We'll be back next week with live Panels on Pages podcast here on YouTube. So subscribe, be sure to leave a like, follow, all that jazz, and download Pop Fantasy Football on your favorite podcast app. We just got the news that Spotify has a review system now. So go in there, figure out how you can review, leave a like for Pop Fantasy Football. We will appreciate it. And check out our merch at merch.panelsonpages.com. We got lots of cool Pop Fantasy Football designs. And join the Pop Discord at discord.panelsonpages.com and get involved in the discussion in the Pop Fantasy Football channel. Just like Shark did when he went into the Pop Fantasy Football channel to let Vetter know that he had 3 people sitting on his bench, or 3 people starting that were not going to play. And then he lost by 1 point.
So guys finished last.
Normally about this time we would give you a quote from the great Vince Lombardi, but this week we mourn sports legend John Madden, who passed away this week at the age of 85. So in lieu of our weekly Vince Lombardi quote, here's a quote from the late great John Madden. Self-praise is for losers. Be a winner. Stand for something. Always have class, and be humble. For Tito Cruz, Dan Mahoney, Jose Guzman, and myself, Jason Nyes, thanks for joining us for the Pop Fantasy Football 2021 Week 16 recap. Good luck to everyone in this league and beyond, and we'll see you next week. Nailed it. The sound files are still in the wrong folder on my computer,
Oh, no.
so it's current. iTunes is currently going through all the folders and finding it to when the outro is gonna play right now.
ESPN, the global leader in sports. The whole thing's fucked.